Wow. And then he's like,
no wonder they have
if I could speak English, I would say, wow, what a fucking waste of time. Thanks, guys. Give me back my 45 minutes. All right, we have an iPhone 10 here for data recovery. And it is not this one. This is my iPhone 10. Look, it's Underdog. He loves Christmas. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to open up mine and take out my board, and we're going to just use mine for parts so that we can see what's going on. Mark, you want to review this board while I just unscrew this to save time?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Alrighty. So we opened up the dead one, and we'll review the history, and you can see the shock that we saw. We even called the customer and asked her who she had sent this to before, because it looks like a prior repair attempt, and she said nobody. She said this is the first time this phone has been opened.
So these two connectors on the bottom half of the board are nice and factory looking, exactly what we would expect to see from something that's never been touched. And then we get to the battery connector with...
And the general appearance looks like it looks like it's a 3-year-old phone that's been in a purse for 6 months. It's dirty, it's gunky, there's flux everywhere. I mean, and so her story is that she got this for $500 on December 26th from the Verizon Store.
And iPhone 10s run like $1,000 to start, right?
I'm trying to think. Like, I know this one was... Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 1,000.
I looked it up just now, and it's like 1,000 or like 1,100 or 1,200.
Yeah, like
so,
I think I was 64 gig is 1,000, and then 256 is the other option.
So she got an amazing deal on a obviously refurbished.
But where did this come from? Like,
it came from. She said it came from Verizon.
Yeah, but how? Under like what? What side of the road? You know, the only thing I can think of is that it was like a teardown video phone or something like that somebody kind of put back together. I mean, look at that. That is... Ah! That's the little freak out button on the iPhone 10. So, yeah. And she went on her honeymoon, took a bunch of pictures. She got the iPhone 10 because of its camera. She said that it started having problems on the Face ID, would just kind of be really, really slow, and if she tried to use it, sometimes the phone would just restart. And if she tried to use the selfie cam, that the phone would just restart. But that it would always boot back up until on January 3rd. So she only had it for like a week then. It worked for a week. So on her honeymoon, it died. That's a bummer story.
Yeah, and these...
Why don't we call up Verizon and say, I heard you can get an iPhone 10 for $500. I want to do that too. see what they say.
I absolutely don't.
I wonder if it was a guy with a fake scam Verizon Store. Like, were there any other customers there? Was the Verizon Store located in a basement of some sort? All right, let's see. Wonder if a Verizon employee is making money on the side. Well, he's definitely not making money with his micro-soldering work, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, and so we'll compare it, because I'm going to open up mine. I bought at Best Buy. I intended to buy it at the Apple Store. All right, here's what mine looks like. Here, why don't you just kind of show the connectors and stuff. For folks that haven't seen an iPhone 10 yet, it's a wall of connectors and flexes. Don't rip any of my flexes, Mark.
I will do my best. Do we have one of those little blue pry tools?
Yeah, they're in the trash can next to you, probably down at the bottom, next to all the dead cables. All right, so let's look at mine and see if it also looks all fluxy. Maybe that's just part of their manufacturing process. Maybe they're all like that. I have not taken my board out. I've taken, I don't have any screws in it. But that's about it. taken the screen off, but that's all. Don't mess it up.
Well, I'm gonna.
It's a cute little board though, isn't it? Look, it's just so, I think it's a really innovative solution to the whole flexion problem. So there are 3 screws, that's it, that hold this thing down. And cute little sandwich board.
Yeah.
Now these stickers seem native, they really do. Like, I don't think anyone's peeled up these stickers. So it's just this incredibly odd presentation. Because there's flux on the like sandwich part of the board.
I think somebody's peeled those stickers off and replaced them as part of the refurbishing process. Because there's too much.
Who does board repair refurbishing on iPhone 10?
Verizon's China shop.
I mean, are there even iPhone 10 videos from like Rewa and stuff?
I don't know.
All right, how do my connectors look?
They look perfect. They look factory. Nothing wrong in there. Nice joints. Yeah, that's what I expect to see. And look, all your underfill or your waterproofing looks like it should, like slightly transparent and not like burned up like that board.
Right. Yeah, this stuff, I mean, you can even see heat on 2 of the caps when I looked at it. You know, like Mickey Mouse ears, signs of heat.
Yeah, see how
so none of that is like scraped up. You couldn't take a reading. You know,
yeah, and you can
have to.
You can see the ends of the caps through the underfill, but on that board, it's all opaque.
Well, let's get the boards out so that we can like do a direct comparison.
Yeah, here.
Okay. All right. So let's.
I'm not taking.
Nope. Mark fucked up my iPhone 10.
Now I can't get any of my Bitcoins.
All right, so let's see. It's such a cute little design. A wall of flexes, and then we've got just a couple of screws. All right, so that screw is already out, and we've got a screw here. So let me have a fresh magnet tray for my screws. And let's take out a screw. All right, so we'll get this screw out. I need to get my chat going here. All right, so that's the screw at the end. This one will be easy. Like, you know, whenever the new board comes out and you have to like memorize the screws again. Returns, I can only guess due to buyer's remorse or stop payment. See?
Can't afford the $1,000 phone.
Yep. All right, so then we're going to unscrew this little interesting little elbow piece that holds the board down. So there's a screw for the little elbow piece.
The only 2 screws that hold the actual board in go through the spacer? Is that?
I don't know. All right, let's look back. Okay, so that little elbow screw I just took out. So that one technically isn't holding the board down. It's just sort of resting on it. All right, so this one we'll have to come back and look if it goes through the spacer or not. And then we've got one more screw over here. Yeah, I mean, mine looks totally like you would expect. It looks new.
Yeah, on this one,
I'm just so like desperate to know what I want to like have like a, you know, like one of those dog tracker chips and know where's that thing been? Where you been, Sparky?
There's only 4 holes that go all the way through the board, and all 4 of them are through the spacer.
All right, so this is my screen, and I'm going to put a sticker on it because I don't want to get exhausted and mix that up. So this one goes to iPhone JBJ. Would you buy an iPhone 10 for $500 if you were standing in a Verizon store?
Do I know?
If you're in a Verizon store and someone says, "Would you like to buy this on sale iPhone 10, $500?" Sure, because can't you just, if it's in a white box new, can't you put it on eBay for $1,000? I mean, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
All right, let's get this board out.
I would suspect that something fishy was going on if I was offered that deal in a Verizon store.
I wouldn't if I was in a Verizon store. You know,
I
I mean, I would if I was like on Craigslist, but
I've seen enough shady
I've
stuff
seen enough
come out of
stuff
Verizon
out of those
stores.
carrier stores.
It does not surprise me at all.
Like what kind of stuff?
Telling customers that their device is being repaired under the warranty when it's ends up being replaced with something that has a ton of problems. And I mean, it's pretty much every like insurance replacement had tons of problems.
Like if you got an Assurian board?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were the worst. Those were like screws through flex cables and stuff.
I mean, I've seen Assurian boards come through here that are like have, you know, frank rust and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I've still got some kind of a connector on here. What is this hook to? Like I remember her board just kind of came right out. I don't remember having to unhook anything over here.
So what do you think the chances are that there's going to be liquid damage in between the halves of this after it doesn't boot up with known good parts?
I think it's going to boot up fine with no known good parts, honestly. And then we'll see. Then we'll really see. All right. So hers. Let me look at it. I don't remember on like having anything connected there. I don't remember. Maybe it just didn't have the foam sticker, so I just kind of instantly disconnected it and didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, probably.
Look in her housing and see if she has a foam sticker on this flex.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't connected then. Is that the front camera flex? Because that was her complaint.
It is. Well, no, I can't tell. I don't think it is.
All right, I need to get some more stickers on my board so that we don't get anything mixed up.
I think it might be for the Face ID like infrared shooter outer.
That's the like Touch ID of the phone. That's the important don't mess it up part.
Yeah. What the hell do I know? I've never seen one of these before.
All right, we'll do JBJ on mine. Okay.
Oh, man.
What?
Changing the charge port's going to be a bitch on these.
Oh, don't worry. They'll just use wireless charging. You're never going to have to do it. Okay, let's compare my board and her board. All right, let's move this over. And let's see. Let's actually make this big. So we're going to embiggen this. So we're going to get rid of the... Let's get rid of the main front cam. And let's take this over. So we are looking at the two iPhone 10s. So this is mine. And we'll just compare kind of side by side. So let's get that as clear as we can. Something like that. All right, so we've got nice looking regular connectors. And let's look under my foam sticker and see what that looks like and how easy it is to take off the sticker. All right, so it's easy to take off the sticker. It was also easy to take off her sticker. Oh, that's a big ass sticker. Look at that sticker. All right, so this is what mine looks like. This is what hers looks like. So I think let's look and see who made these boards. Mine is made by, I don't know. Hers is made by AT&S. So hers is 820.00.863.12. Mine is 820. I wonder what the 12 means. Look that up, Mark. What's 820.00.863-12?
You're going to have to say that again.
820
820
00863-12. Yeah. So it's not uncommon for boards to have different manufacturers. So yeah, like she never had a sticker on this connector, and it just looks fluxy, used, and old and heated.
Got nothing but some Russian website.
All right, and then mine looks clean. Hers looks kind of like its board has had a lot of flux on it. All right, so here on her board, there's a lot of just flux. This is flux, and then she has signs of heat on these caps here. So that is signs of heat. And those had the protective water coating is scraped off as if someone was taking a measurement there. Right? And then she has these two caps here are missing their tops, and there's a no stuff or something missing there, probably no stuff. But it's been, like this shield has been taken off, and that's kind of like just tweezer damage. Let's compare to mine. Maybe mine will be the same. All right, here's mine, and those three caps have, their normal underfill covering. There's no signs of flux in this area, at least. All right, so I can see sticker residue on mine. All right, let's look at these connectors. This is my board, and I can look at the feet of the connectors. Those all look like normal factory solder joints as we go down connector row. I can see typical flux from manufacturing in here. I see a really typical presentation of the waterproofing.
There are iPhone 10 schematics in the Google Drive now.
Okay, good. All right. And so let's look at this soldering here at one of the battery connectors. That looks just like what you would expect. That's factory paste and connector and oven standard soldering. All right, let's compare to her board. All right, so let's look. These connectors look fluxy, dirty. And, these ones here look like factory connectors soldered on by a machine. And then this looks like a replacement connector. Like, how would an iPhone 10 even be old enough to need a replacement connector? This kind of soldering is, it's a little bit off. Look at the flux and the dirt in this thing. Mm-hmm. This is, how many, it's not even a month old. This is ridiculous. I don't even know what to make of this. What does chat have any ideas?
No.
All right, so let's look at the joints here on that connector. Like, this is the kind of soldering that I reject from students and say, nope, go back and try again.
Yeah, we fail.
I've been doing this all week, looking at joints just like this and going, does that look like a ski slope? No, make it look like a ski slope. Get back in line. Tear up your certificate, F. All right. Okay, so now what I want to do is compare. Let's look at this back row. This is her board. There's blue-green stuff. Like, what's the blue? Some kind of blue...
Loctite.
Not that much. it looks like some kind of blue ink that is used to mark a board that you intend to throw away. It's just covered with flux that's kind of water damaging these caps. It's ridiculous. All right, let's look at my board in the same area. So mine has a clear underfill that's never been touched. So that tells us that this is all chewed up, that at some point probably somebody has taken off the shield. The sticker itself, though, looks pretty factory.
Yeah,
so that means somebody had put a new sticker. Honestly, this doesn't look a whole lot different than the fake board that we showed in the last stream.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's flip it upside down. Nothing much going on over here. So, Mark, your question about screws going through the sandwich, yes.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, so there's actually a bunch of screw holes. Bunch of through sandwich screw holes.
Now
What's up with that? What is in there? Like, what's that?
That's some goop from the table.
Goop from the table. Okay. So what we're going to do first, at least, let's move this back over here. So this is here for data recovery. And, you know, the first thing we want to do is rule number 1. And hope that this doesn't actually have a board problem, because that's going to be really tough to troubleshoot, because we don't really have any parts, and we'll have to do the best we can. So
we've got a known good board.
What we're going to... But my keys! If I'd backed it up, I'd be all over that. Oh, speaker amp, I could probably let her just reball it, put it back. I did that a lot with the iPhone 7 I had. Alright, so what we're going to do first is put the water damage bad board in my in the housing for my phone. So we'll make this, pull this over here, and what's this note on here? Water damage and prior repair attempt. Oh, just throw it on the pile. Okay, so let's get her board in this housing. Man, that's a lot of connectors. Damn. That is a lot of... Wait, is this her housing? Let's put it in my housing.
Yeah, put it in your housing. Fire that thing right up. Take all the pictures off it.
And then take this, split this board in half.
Yeah.
Why don't you go hunt down the iPhone 10 stencil so that we can...
Where's that gonna be? Just around?
Yeah. It's in it's in a thing from China.
Oh, it's in a thing from China. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yep. That's what it's in. All right. Let's try to get all these flexes lined up here. It is nice to only have a couple of screws securing the board, although I don't think I want to trade in having to split the board and put it back together every time you want to look at a board. I don't think I'm ready to trade for that. I'd prefer not to tear any of my flexes. I need my flexes. So let's see, how is this getting in here? Very carefully.
Not in any of them things from China.
It was in I'm pretty sure it was in like a little thing that looks like it would, it's like a little tin.
A little tin?
A little tin from China.
Is it gonna be like in the China yellow package?
No, not a yellow package. It's like a tin that you would expect to have like, you know, free gift. Here's your, you know, tin from China.
Yeah, that thing's gone forever.
No, it's not. Are you good at finding things? Like, are you the guy at home that like, I'll find it?
I'm good at finding my things. I'm not good at finding like
random shit.
Yeah,
I mean, like Maisie is really good at finding stuff. Sam is really good at finding stuff. I'm really good at losing stuff. It all works. Everybody's got their own special little thing. All right, so this board is in here, so let's start connecting stuff. Let's connect that to that, and let's put back the microscope view. Slide over here, and let's promote the microscope. All right, we'll connect this guy. We'll connect this guy. Let's leave. It'll probably wig out if I put a front camera in. Let's connect.
We're all out of
This
tins
guy?
from China.
What? That's impossible. Connect this guy. That looks like a battery. Let's connect this guy. That looks like also a battery. Yeah, so we'll do those last. All right, let's get a screen. I really would like for her pictures to come back, and then we can play with this board, but I just want to know how does a board come to be like that? All right, what's going on with chat, Mark?
Some people are saying some stuff.
Do you generally see better boards come from Samsung phones? What do you say, Mark?
I mean, I've never seen a really poor refurb like that was a Samsung.
Ever from anything. This is shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen a $1,000 phone look like someone wiped their ass with it. You know, when it's less than a month old. I mean, who's even doing iPhone 10 board repair?
Apparently us.
Well, I didn't do it.
I don't know. I wish we could get the real background on this, but
Let's call up that Verizon store. That's what I want to do.
yeah,
She'll probably be pretty pissed, and I think that we should call them up.
I wouldn't be surprised if this legitimately made its way through their supply chain and wasn't like a customer return that got wrapped back up and put on the shelf.
I mean, I can't. I mean, this is someone with hot air and flux. So this is not, you know, kid buys it and then, you know, does some YouTube videos and throws it in a creek and then returns it and they say looks fine and sells it again. All right. Let's see what happens if we try to turn it on. Turn on. Come on.
Oh, is it voice activated now?
No, you just hit the button. To
iPhone turn on.
Turn on. Come on. Do it.
You gotta hold the button.
I'm holding the button. All right, let's see if it consumes any kind of charging current. It's not looking good. All right, charging current says you can listen. You can hear it crying. Hear like cap squeal?
No.
You don't?
That's probably the tinnitus.
Listen. You don't hear that? That is some shit. Listen.
I don't wear earplugs at concerts.
You got old man hearing. Here, look. I'm gonna open it up. Now listen.
Oh yeah, I guess I can hear that.
It's screaming. Here, let's see. All right, let's be quiet. Listen, chat.
I don't think that's gonna pick it up.
I mean, it sounds like an old tape player. God. Siri, wake the fuck up. That is crazy. All right.
Is there a white van anywhere near the Verizon store with phones in the back? My buddy got by the white van speaker.
Look, they hear it. Look at that. Oh, wow. Heard it clear as. Yep, squealing indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so charging current consumption 0, 0, 0. That is a giant bummer. All right, I unplugged it and plugged it, and it is 0.06. I mean, this seems like, you know, pretty brain dead. Let's see if iTunes happens to recognize it in recovery mode. this is mean to do to somebody's honeymoon. Like, she went on a trip. This is her wedding and honeymoon. Mm-hmm. And just to sell, like, if she had eyes on this before she went on her trip, she would have never taken this on your honeymoon. You know, it's a once in a lifetime thing. This is so uncool. All right. Okay, so no help here on this. So let's see. I'm going to disconnect. Let's see if I can feel it getting hot. All right, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna disconnect the battery, reconnect it, and then I'm gonna press on the board to see if this is just some poor soldering that has, you know, kind of come loose somewhere. No result. All right, I'm going to plug it back into the USB ammeter just to see if it has any change with pressure on the board while it's connected to what I know is a good battery that's charged. Nope, it's 0.0102. I don't feel heat. Seems pretty brain dead. So this is how a phone would behave that had just like a dead CPU. Like it had no power to the CPU, for example. That is dead, dead, dead. All right. What do you think we should do, Mark?
I think that we should see what it does on DC power supply.
All right.
I mean, worst case scenario, it ends up with a better joint on the battery connector.
All right. Let's try disconnecting a bunch of flexes except for dock. So let's disconnect everything in case something is interfering. So we'll eliminate variables here. We'll disconnect all these dudes. I'm going to take this out kind of carefully. All right, so let's try to eliminate as many variables as we can. So we're going to leave off cameras, buttons, anything that could be causing a problem. All right, so I believe that this one is going to be charge port. So I'm going to just connect in screen, but not front camera.
Zero Effect says, Jessa, can we see if all the power rails are present on the board, please?
I don't know. Come on over. You're welcome to stay up all night and try that. Who said that? That's pretty funny.
Zero with an X effect.
Mm. Okay, so we are now connecting just the screen and just the 2 batteries. It's going to make the whole DC power supply thing tough. You know, like which, is there a primary battery and then the other one is reserve?
I would just check continuity and see if the positives talk to each other, and if they do, then you're good to go.
And if they don't?
If they don't, then inject to both.
All right. Okay. Let's prompt to boot with the USB ammeter with just the dock and screen connected and see what happens. No change. So we are 0.02, which is, you know, hey, I'm really not pulling any current through USB. So that is not a good sign.
Zero Effect wants to know if he is in the dumb books now. Jorge Ramirez says Lewis would have found a solution by now, or throwing it in the trash.
Lewis would still be struggling to figure out which screwdriver turns the screws at the bottom of an iPhone. Okay. All right. So I think that we should see what it does on DC power supply. That is our tool for dead no power poles. I'm going to predict that it goes to 70 milliamps. What do you predict?
I predict that it goes to 120 milliamps.
Okay, well, we'll see. All right, so let's figure out what's up with these battery connectors. So the battery looks like it has data lines. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Probably all these ones on the other side are likely NC. Those are going to be all NC.
Wait, what are we looking at?
I'm pretty sure that's a battery connector.
No. That's battery connector.
What?
That little one, there's no way that's... Yeah, that runs down here to something down here.
Then what is it?
Something that's not battery. See, the battery flex runs up and wraps around the board up here somewhere.
That's one battery. There's 2 batteries.
Right, but do they tie in together before they connect to the board? Probably.
I don't think so.
I think they do.
I don't think so. Yeah, see, look. This is one battery. See, it has a plus, minus. And this other one, plus, minus. I mean, this looks like definitely battery.
Yeah, that one definitely is.
We should look up what all these what all these things are.
I mean, that one.
All right, so this one is not
very.
battery. Let's see where it goes. What do you go to? Loudspeaker?
Yeah, and probably antennas.
All right. Oh, I got some pink glitter. I don't remember having any kind of pink glitter.
Oh, yeah, somebody suggested it could be the wireless induction connector.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
That would be less pins. I think those batteries connect together. I think it's like the MacBook Air batteries, where there's multiple cells, but they're connected together before they plug into the board.
All right. All right, so I'm getting a diode mode reading here at the battery connector of 0.408. And let's go check on my board. That sounds like a good one. That sounds like a fairly typical reading.
Sounds like a winner.
Sounds like a winner. Sounds like it's got no power problem and it's a dead CPU. But we don't know that. 0.418 on my board. Close enough. All right. Yep, 0.408. All right, so both of these are like positive connections. It's a weird looking battery connector. All right, that's going to be data 1, 0.715, and 0.709. Okay. All right, so let's solder a wire to this and see see what it is. All right. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit of low heat because I'd like to stay out of the connector if possible and just kind of get down here. I don't know if that's possible. I need to get some of this waterproofing stuff off to get some clearance. Yeah, that's all messy. So that we can kind of reserve the ability to plug in a battery later. Okay, all right, let's get some wire. Let's take this wire.
Just take that connector off.
No, I don't want to I do not want for anybody at that Verizon store to be like, oh no, you fucked it up. See, that doesn't have a place plugging the battery. That's what your problem is. Yeah. Nope. This has to go back looking fairly native here.
Verizon native.
Yeah.
We can add flux.
I mean, we can do all kinds of shit. It's just got to go back looking pretty much.
It's going to be like, nope, those joints look too good on that battery connector.
Nope, this board's been through an ultrasonic cleaning machine. That can't be ours. Oh, I got the janky tweezers. Been meaning to swap out these tips.
We need to get some more tips. Mine are reaching end of life.
I think the students have been a lot easier on the tips than they used to be.
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah, the past few classes they haven't really hooked them up too bad.
That seems like that probably is touching ground, so I'll have to edit that, but let's just see. Alright. Alright, reball and replace. I just want to know who had this phone. Where in the world was this phone last under a microscope with a soldering iron? I don't think it actually saw a microscope.
Yeah, no, this was like
Benny's garage.
Chinese guy with just a little like
one of those weird
he puts in his eye.
One of those weird like eyeball-y things, the dental loop. All right, let's edit this up. I want a good, thick, meaty connection, but of course it really can't touch ground. Got to draw the line on touching ground. Now let's shut that thing up. All right, I feel like the camera here is like fairly out of focus. There we go, that's better. I think all these tweezers might be too janky for the job. Alright, where's the silver tweezers? Alright, let's find my wire. Where did it go? Way over there. Did you drop the students off at this Thirsty Turtle? I did.
No, I dropped them off at their hotels.
Oh, well, I had the party students then.
This kills me every time I see it.
What?
iPhone 6 dead, fixed by changing PMIC. Deep fix.
Oh,
426,000 views.
I saw that today. I was like, like some notifications came up, and it's just like, I saw that and I was just like, oh my god, the number of phones that were raped because of that video. It's just disgusting. Especially because the phone in the video is a troll, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it would be one thing if it was, yeah, that phone was the rare phone that actually needed a PMIC. Instead of, no, that was a VCC main short, that's completely obvious, and, you know, is just being used as, hey, look at me, I can change a PMIC. Alright, let's see if that is short or not. Alright, 0.401. Okay, let's see what DC power supply does.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to, like, kind of, after this course week and after the, like, court stuff, getting the new camera card in here and being able to make it so that we can, you know, really do stuff. Yeah. Having 2 microscopes up here I think will be cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do is connect. I'm going to connect. I don't think there's any way for us to turn these cameras around. So I'm going to connect DC power supply positive to the battery. And negative, I'm just going to touch on ground. And before any kind of prompt to boot, I have 0 ohms, so there's no
0 amps.
0 amps. Jeez. Fucking 11:30, you can tell. Mark's lost his hearing. Jessica can't speak. All right. So I have connected the dock connector. I'm going to prompt to boot, and Mark will tell us what it does. My prediction is that it is going to flicker and be at 70 milliamps or less.
I'm going with 120.
Steady?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Ready? All right, prompt to boot. Click, 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 and pull it out. Says it flickered around and it landed on 0. Let's do it again. Prompt to boot, prompt via USB. Right now with USB plugged in, it's going from 0 to 0.004, 002, 004. I'm going to take out USB and it goes to nothing. So that means it's not getting battery. Let's say, here, have a couple more volts. It could be that that wire is just too thin and that it's expecting more battery. Alright, so with 4.2 volts, it's flickering around extremely low. Flicked up to 100 there for a second, almost.
Yeah.
Alright, so with USB plugged in, it's flickering around extremely low, and then when I withdraw USB, it does absolutely nothing. Alright, which one is, so I think we need to edit this wire. This wire is too thin, so let's see what we could do to get a thicker wire there. I mean, I think that wire is just too thin, or the connection is too poor.
I saw a piece of my good red wire.
Your good red wire, yeah. Find your good red wire. Here's this. Is this got good red wire? Or is that the thin red wire? That looks thin.
Yeah, that's the thin stuff.
All right, let's just shove a big fat wire in the battery connector.
In
All right.
the connector.
Yep, this is going old school. This is how I used to do them. So we need to get some kind of an answer. So hopefully we'll be able to dig this out of the connector later, because we're not going to have very many other chances. All right, let's show them what that looks like. So we'll move this over. And this is what I did. Shoved it in there, soldered that in there. Now that's a big ass wire. All right, let's diode mode and see if we have any kind of short from that little thing. 0.403, so we're still good. All right, let's very gently, let's bend this down so that we don't stress it out too much. I'm going to tape the DC power connector so that it doesn't have any stress or pressure. And connect this and find a way to touch ground. All right, let's prompt to boot through the bigger wire. Prompt, 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 and it's just flickering around again, same as before. Withdraw USB, nothing. All right, so now I'm prompting with USB. At times it's just flickering around 0.2, 0.6, 0.3, 0.7, and at times it'll go up to 0.9, and every now and then.
That's 0.0276.
Yes, 0.0.
Oh, I just saw 16.
I saw 16 for a second too. Let me just press down harder. All right, I'm going to take this out. So it's just.
What about prompting with the power button?
I don't know which one is the power button, and all connectors are disconnected, but we can try.
Try that, then I'm leaving.
All right. I'd like to try to get this alligator to clamp on ground a little bit better. Man, these things are a bitch to use. All right. All right, prompt, prompt, prompt. What do you make of that? Scrambled brains.
Yeah, oh, I saw 22 for a second.
Oh, I saw 22 again. All right, let's connect to all these and see if we can, if we're going to rule out the idea that this whole problem was some kind of a flex incompatibility. All right, now let's see if one of those was the power button. All right.
Oh, it did something.
Did it? SD RAM short. All right, so pressing the power button, I'm going to press and hold it. Press, press, press.
Just
I mean,
that
that's
flicker for just a second.
Yeah, I'm going to press it a bunch of times. It's
That's
almost
really weird.
It's almost like 1v8 isn't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look up where 1v8 SD RAM is and see if that's like open line somehow. And maybe we could inject 1v8 and everything's solved. It's not a bad idea.
Oh.
All right.
All you have to do to get to it is split the board in half.
All right, let's split the board in half. Let's split the board in half just so that we can look and see what the board looks like split in half. And then that will be our stopping point for today. I had like a moment of like fear of, I didn't like solder like the battery that I need to use my phone to like drive around and stuff. Wouldn't that suck?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Man, iPhone 10 schematics came out quick.
Yeah, that's because they've been fucking working on them in, you know, whoever did this job had the schematics and was just like, fuck it, I didn't get paid for that, so I'm just gonna throw this shit online. Alright, let's get this out of here. Alright, is there any place on the top board that we could measure 1v8? Anything? That I could like compare to my board? I'm not going to take my phone apart like again, so while it's out.
I don't think Acrobat is installed on this thing. It's a pain in the ass.
That's a real pain in the ass. Well, we could go with the idea that whoever exposed these few caps, that those must be on some lines that are meaningful to them. So we can compare that to my board in diode mode and just see if we can come up with a problem line.
Yeah, the guy that was working on it before obviously knew what he was doing.
Well, if he got a board in this shape, turn on, I'm pretty impressed.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty impressed. All right, so let's go around and see. Okay, so he was digging up these 3 caps right here. So let's see what diode mode says on those guys. All right, let's see. And we could do some test points around here. All right, 0.425, 0.229. And 0.229. All right, let's try it on my board. .424 and 0.275. Sounds close enough. All right, what else was he interested in? These 2 little dudes here. We'll measure right here in the Apple logo. 0.47 and 441. Which one was it? This one. 0.47. Oh, lost my battery connector. Let's see. And 442 on that one. And mine 0.358. I think that's enough of a difference if it's an open line. 0.358 on my board. 0.442. That's significant, don't you think? I really want to know what that dug up dude is. That looks like some kind of like ESD diode. What connector is that? I wonder if like something like that could be, you know, making the, you know, power button signal stay high or something like that. All right, what else was somebody measuring around here? What else did somebody care about? This guy? Let's see. Somebody dug up him. 0.687. All right, which guy was he? .688. All right, so I kind of want to know who is this cap here. All right, let's look on. Did he get the schematics out? All right, I don't think I have the schematics. Let's open up ZXW. We gotta get to bed. We never have any time to stream at the end of the day. All these great plans all day long, and then we're exhausted. Boo on that. Can we look up this cap here?
Sure.
Great. All right. It's by. It's this cap here by the Apple logo. There's a 0.1 diode mode difference between mine with this one being higher. So it's kind of it's
right.
this one here.
That
So there's
one there.
1, 2, 3 in a row, and he's at the bottom of over top of a big square dude.
This thing won't let me highlight the text, and I can't quite read it. It won't zoom in anymore.
You had it like big. You
No.
had it zoomed.
You can't. It's not.
All right, let me read it.
What?
I'll read that. I'm gonna read the shit out of that with my magical power. Ready? All right.
There aren't enough pixels for you to be able to read it.
Oh, I can read it.
It's not like it's got perfect resolution. It's just really small.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it out. Do you know how poor my vision is? I've spent a lifetime. I think it says C958. It's either C858 or 958.
I bet that's it.
you're like,
It's
that's
not.
fucking bullshit.
It's not.
What?
No, I'm gonna
Just type in
download
C950.
the thing and open
Fine. All right, I'm gonna go download it as well. All right. Let's go on a hunt for the iPhone 10 schematic. Please, bro, where do you get schematics? See what happens if you actually try to Google the board number. Why does it say?
Alright, here we go.
What's iPhone 10 2B 864? Neither one of these are 864. They were 863, weren't they? Yeah, 863.12. I guess you get what you get.
C2650.
What? Is this the same board? Which one are you working on?
864.
All right. Let's see. Are you on iPhone 10 2B 864.06?
Yes.
All right, C2650.
That's what I said.
All right, mine's not downloaded. Let's see.
Each to it.
All right, what line is that on?
That is on PP3VO NAND.
Interesting. PV3VO NAND. I know that guy. All right, let's do a voltage test and see if there's any 3VO NAND. Wouldn't that be awesome if it was a sex toy 10? All right.
That still doesn't explain why it's not attempting to boot at all.
Yeah, it does. That's exactly what it would do if that is exactly what it would do if
Like-
it had no NAND. Except it would fake detect.
It would be pulling some amount of current. It couldn't try to power on at
Well,
all.
but the reason why NAND, if that is some sort of open line, it would be that the PMIC is not powering NAND because it's not doing anything.
Well,
I mean, that's actually a pretty good problem to have if it's true. Unless it's just, I mean, it's only a point. It's 0.4 something versus 0.3 something. You know, so it's not a massive difference. In fact, a lot of the NAND. In fact, I think that is dependent on the size of the NAND. You know, like I've noticed that like Toshiba NAND versus whatever, that those are going to be a little bit different. All right, so that's probably just a troll. Alrighty. Should we? Let's split this board.
All right, let's split that board.
Do you know where a 1v8 cap is that we could test, though? That's the only thing I would be interested in.
No, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way.
You can't type in 1v8?
I can. That's the old-fashioned way. And keep looking up caps in the board view until we find one that's on the top.
Okay. That's the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
That's the way.
It's not the almost midnight way.
That's true. All right.
You're about to lose a sidekick for this stream.
All right, where is the NAND? 1v8 will be around the NAND. Is there any way to like? Is there any? Is this like a big sticker here?
NAND is.
All right. What else is 1v8 going to be around? 1v8 will be around cameras.
NAND is on top of the board. It's right there. It's under. That's what the sticker is on.
Oh, this giant thing is NAND?
Yeah.
All right, then all these bitches here on the end are going to be NAND. All these assholes on the end. Some of those will be 1v8.
What do we got? All right.
Pick one of those little corroded fuckers.
Picking. We got.
I'm still just flashing.
1v8 IO.
All right.
C2626.
I'm still just like having the flashback to watching this retarded video and being like, wow, you guys like really waste some serious time.
There we go. Here's a good one.
All right, which
right
one?
There. The big fat guy. And the 3.
I already measured them.
Yeah, well, that's your 1v8.
All right, so 1v8 are those two? I remember them being the same, the two neighbors. All right, yeah, and they're like kind of look heat wrecked. You know what? Maybe this is just gonna be like reball NAND.
Oh, how nice would that be?
Why don't we just try to put some pressure on just NAND? I mean, I put pressure on the board, but let's try to put pressure on just.
Yeah,
all right, 0.229. And I'm pretty... So this is the 1v8 line, right?
Yeah, 1v8 IO. There's also a 1v8 S2 line. But I don't see that going to NAND.
Okay.
That goes to, like, SD RAM.
All right. So, let's see. Mine is 0.276. And... yeah, I mean, this might have just had, like... oh, I wonder if they tried to do, like, a NAND upgrade or something. Let's look to see if, like, maybe... let's look to see if was this board never split, but it just had a NAND job. Let's look. So let's look...
I looked really closely, and I can't tell. I thought that there was going to be underfill in that gap, and there isn't. So
there isn't? Yeah. In mine? You mean on mine?
I haven't looked on yours, but on that one, there's flux, but you can clearly see the balls.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Unless it's a like super translucent thing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just... I mean, look, that really does look like a NAND job. I mean, the where is the flux on the board? It's signs of heat on these caps, and then this is just a train wreck. There's flux all around there, flux kind of from these connectors. And let's go down here. You know, then over here, like at this end of the board, it's
all factory.
It's less. You know.
Yeah.
So let's see what's under here. You know.
We're going to change these 5 different connectors. We might as well change the NAND too.
Yeah, so this is a 64. I wonder if this is just an iCloud lock thing.
Oh.
That the whole history of this is that it's an iCloud lock iPhone 10 that somebody bought from like the Apple Store or whatever, or under contract or something, and then said, you know, fuck you, I'm not paying the bill. And then it became an iCloud Lock 10, had no value. And then somewhere in the world, look up iPhone 10 unlock, hardware unlock or something like that. Somewhere in the world is just a dude with a CNC machine who you know was able to kind of do something like that, and then just it's been overheated, and all of her kind of like software type problems are due to that. Let's try to boot this again with pressure on NAND. Yeah, that, I mean, like, this is gonna be NAND related.
Do it. See if I care.
All right. Well, it's gonna be hard now because the battery connector is seriously jacked. All right, can you find me a main cap so that I can not have to worry about that?
DC power supply.
All right, I'm gonna assume that my assumption that the wire was too small was wrong, and go back to wrong.
Nasty woman.
Wrong. Okay. I really need to get a better pair of tweezers for this.
This NAND has a shit ton of pins.
Does it?
Seems like a lot more than normal.
All the better to iCloud unlock you.
It's got like 25 ground pins.
You know what? This is just more fuck you for, you know, I'm like gonna take off the, like my iCloud unlock video. Fuck you, iCloud unlockers. You cost this woman her honeymoon pictures. You know? Like,
yeah.
Like that's going to be what the history of this is. This is going to be an iCloud locked board that someone made iCloud unlocked, and it's all fucked up and, you know, just garbled piece of shit repair that...
Yeah, how did it make it into
a Verizon
Apple
Store
box in a Verizon Store?
Yeah. Well, I guess if I had a board like that, I would, you know, get a brand new non-fuckeried phone and then, you know, return this one or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if all that shit, if everyone in the world had drilled a hole through the CPU of all the iCloud lock phones, then this phone would have a nice fat hole drilled through it and not be costing her memories.
iPhone 10 board for this April Fool's.
I got one right here. It's just bullshit. Just. Ugh. Did you hear that our student Teresa called up Lewis?
I heard you guys talking about that earlier. What was the deal with that?
Teresa, you remember Teresa?
No.
She inexplicably, I have no idea why. She calls up Lewis to say, "Hey, Lewis, I'm one of Jess's students. Hey, I was wondering if you could give me a little help. I've got a problem here with my iPhone or my Samsung S8 back glass." Like Lewis has ever seen a Samsung S8. And Lewis is just like, he had been in the middle of like hot air on the board of repair and had answered the phone because Steve was busy. And then when he was like heard that, he was just like, what kind of troll is this? And then he did that.
Justin must be behind this.
Yeah, he was like, so that's what he told me. He's like, I got your troll. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, your student called me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he probably thought that she was like here at the
Yeah, and
class.
that it was some kind of like, haha thing. In fact, I don't think I'll ever be able to convince him that I really didn't have anything to do with it.
Well, did he tell her to put it on a hot plate at about
No, what he
80
did,
degrees?
did you hear what he did for his message? He got the professional lady voice message that says, "Hi, thank you so much for calling us during business hours with your please bro request. Now you can go fuck yourself." That's what his message says. And it's like
for his shop?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It says something like, "Do you have a please bro question that you'd like us to answer for free during business hours while we're trying to earn money? Press 7." It's hilarious.
Press 1 to go fuck yourself.
You should call it up right now. It's pretty funny. All right, which one? Can you figure out which one of these is the power connector?
I could probably do that with some amount of effort.
All right, let's say it's probably one of these skinny ones. I'm just gonna shove tweezers in all of them until I get a response out of that DC power supply.
All right, let me look at this housing.
All right.
Figure out which one of these is power button.
Okay, great. What else would be on a power button flex? That doesn't look like power button. Oh.
All right, it's gonna be.
Is it this top one?
It's gonna be J4300 between the two camera connectors. I bet. Let's see.
I gotta get a better place.
Yeah, boom, nailed it.
What? Which one is it?
It is this one.
All right. What's this one here on the end? Is it the front camera connector?
That one is. No, I think the front camera connectors are the next two down.
Well, what is that one? Is it the infrared camera?
I can't tell without taking this thing apart further.
Okay, we're not going to do that.
I think we're going to need to do that. It's okay, don't worry. Just go about your business.
Nope, we're not. We're not going to fuck up the phone that I need to use right now.
Kidding.
All right. So this is the power pin, and I can get a flicker. All right, let's press on the NAND. Pressure on NAND, and looks like a bunch of no change. We'll make it so we can really put pressure on that. All right, pressure on NAND. And I can get a flicker, and that's it. Flicker. Oh, it went up to 0.1 for a second.
The hell is hawking?
It's like what you do if your throat has got like a bunch of phlegm in it, and you're Mark Schaefer, and it's Tuesday. All right, this is really super boring for stream because they can't see the DC power supply.
Yeah, well, it's boring for me, and I can see it.
It's boring for me too. All right, I mean the only fun thing to do is split this board.
Yeah, you're either going to split that board or you're not.
All right, let's split this board. Okay. The only other thing is, what kind of power is down here? Because I saw a flicker when I kind of touched in that connector.
Power is down where?
At this, whatever this connector is down here.
Which one?
The
Okay, that guy. All right, let's look at this other half of the board. Let's see, JU.
Okay, I think the next step for us would be to attempt to split this board. All right, so let's see what that would look like.
JU18. JU18-1_E is the name of that connector. And it's got some lines called...
All right, I think we should get the preheater.
PP3V0 UAT con E BB to UAT GPO BB to UAT GPO.
All right, let's get the preheater and split this board.
All right.
Time to split this board. And see what beautifulness is on the inside.
All right, I got the IC removal tool here for you too. Just don't go too deep with it.
What's that? I already have one.
Okay. So I took this one from...
Oh, okay. Because I was looking around for that, and I had to get up and go on a big hunt to find this one. That's how come I knew exactly where it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I stole this one from you. That's how I knew exactly where it was.
All right. I see. I see how we go.
Don't go too deep now. That spacer isn't very thick.
So bossy. You want to put the NAND back on? You want to put a NAND back on that board that's just laying here? No. No, really, I'd rather just, get the
I'd rather go drink a beer and then pass out because it's after midnight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, let's just get this done, and then we'll just peek in here, and then we'll
just take a little peek inside.
carry on with it later. All right, so it's this whole shebang.
Yeah, except for the SIM tray.
Yep. All right, so then let's see if we can clamp it down in any kind of meaningful way. So only this one, like...
Yeah, that's the only one you're going to be able to do.
This one?
With.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, wow. Will you even be able to fit it in there?
And now the preheater is starting to fail. I don't know about the ye old preheater, Mark.
There you go. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Like a glove.
Like a Chinese glove. All right, let's... Yeah, that's gonna be tough because half of the board is not really on the preheater at all. Okay. I'm not sure that's helping. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set the Omnivice right here. Right here on the SIM tray.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna have to come off.
Right. Let's grab an Omnivice from right there.
It's good for something.
Yeah, it is. All right, we're gonna shove an Omnivice right here.
Like G-Lon's videos.
I know.
So precise.
Yeah, he's like edited and shit, and
let's find a big chunk of metal to sit on there.
Mark, can you just lean on this like with your elbow? I mean, your finger's already fucked up from the last time we did this. That's what I'm saying. Like the idea that he goes, Wow. You guys are a real bunch of clowns. All right. Like the idea, like, you've never done this before. And, all right. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that.
Like he's got the tool, like the thing that's this is designed to like accommodate my
It must be nice to live in China and speak Chinese and be able to just be like, what's the new tools?
Yeah, hey guys, anybody got anything to hold an iPhone 10 board?
Oh, you having some trouble with your stand there?
No, I'm just adjusting. Just getting it how I want it to be, you know. That's all. All right. What does Chat say?
Yeah,
Chat gave up. Chat went to bed.
Yeah, everybody left.
They're like, fuck this. You guys aren't even gonna split that board. All right, let's see here. I wonder how long, or if ever, there will come a time where this is something that we kind of do every day, like shield removal, and it's just no big deal. You know?
Well, if they don't abandon that design, there is going to come a time where we either find a new line of work or we fucking crack boards open every day.
Oh, that's just smooth like butter.
Look at that.
God bless it. Man. Like there's... Alright, we need to go to China and just get the right shit and stop having to
we just have to make a trip every time there's a new phone.
Yeah, so be it. It's a professional pro
China trip.
But man, that's very, very nice on there. The part that you can get to.
Yeah. If you kind of like twist it a little bit, will it just pop the thing up?
It may. There's a little bit of like restriction, so I'd like to kind of run around the edge of it, just so that I don't pull anything. No. I think it would flip up.
Yeah. That's ready to come off.
There we go. All right. Now we have officially split open. I'm going to turn off this preheater now. And see what it is.
Aaron Summers says roughly 6 inches.
What's roughly 6 inches mean? Did Gilon's board fall in his lap?
It did, but he edited that out.
All right, here we go. All right, this is the iPhone 10.
Well, it's the iPhone 5 plus 5.
Yeah, all right. Let's take a look. Let's see what is behind door number 1. This is our first look at the iPhone 10. Seems awful fluxy in here, I have to say. All right, let's look at this shield removal job. Pretty happy with that. All right, so let's look.
Are all those points
well, we'll find out. We're going to take a first look. So this is our tour of the good old... we really should make edited videos. I mean, this is cool. This is us opening our first iPhone 10. All right.
Yeah, we could have uploaded a video where it didn't fall in your lap.
Yeah, we could have. All right, I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna just make like a best of
voiceover.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get some premium actors. All right, so I don't see any underfill around here. I see some coils. I see some heavily flux damaged, been sitting in flux for a long time components all around here. But there's no underfill in that section, so a lot of flux. This makes me sad. For this lady, $500 is way too much money to get this kind of crap. This is ridiculous. You know, I mean, at least she'll be able to like kind of see this you know, video here. All right. So we've got CPU. So this is the A11. I mean, it's so funny to look at like this train wreck compared to like the video, like the A11 processor. You know, like the kind of Tim Cook and his amazing like presentation. All right, let's look and see if the CPU is like been replaced.
It looks like there's not a lot of underfill. Maybe it's just me with the angle.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of underfill. I think we need to put the board through ultrasonic to really be able to see, because there's so much flux.
Look at that. I can see the
oh my God!
There's
There's
iCloud.
Look at the chip there. That audio IC is cracked on the corner. Look at that.
Oh, China.
That's bullshit. God damn, I'd be pissed. I would be really pissed.
I wonder if Wyman worked on this.
No, because he doesn't do things like put boards in his lap and shit like that. Well, let's call him up and ask.
They do the iCloud unlock, I bet.
Let's actually see if like maybe this is the same board from the video he posted today. Look at that. There's a chip, a corner missing out of that. You know, I don't think that was me. I don't think I was on that side. You can look back and check. I mean, everything is just poorly attached and just swimming in flux. This is unacceptable. You know, look at all this. Like, this looks like kindergartners put this whole thing together. This is sad. Her pictures from her special day were entrusted to this jelly. You know, ugh. I mean, when we talked to her, and she has absolutely no idea that this wasn't brand new.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really sad. All right, and yeah, let's see, where was it? Yeah, see, I did not put a tool there at all, because that was on the side that I couldn't get to.
Mm-hmm.
And open it up, and there is just, things, little tiny things like that can make a, if there's a data line going through this guy, it can take out a phone. I mean, honestly, I would probably just kind of say, what happens if we put this one in the, like the reflow oven? Because it's probably leaded solder and really, really low melt. It's not going to be lead free on like CPU.
Right.
And it was working despite all of, this fuckery's been here the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you could just leave it sitting on the hot plate.
Yeah, or leave it sitting on the hot plate and then see if we can, or even just does it work now because we, heated it up.
Is all of that stuff ground around the edges?
All right, let's find out. All right, let's find out what's the deal with these. I mean, I do have the stencil, so we could put it back together.
I mean,
but
it can't
just
all be ground. The two halves of the board have to talk to each other.
It's all flux. All right, so let's see. This outer layer is ground. And the inner layer is, I don't know. Let's find out. Do they talk to each other? All right, these guys talk to each other and they're not ground. Oh, yeah, that's unclear then. And I can't get a good enough, like,
yeah,
beep. All right, let's check out this. All right, so and now I don't even like know for sure like what will it be like to take this thing off, because it would have been already done, you know. So this is, you know,
yeah.
not really even fun, you know. Looks like somebody. This is the thumbnail for this board. Somebody took a shit on this lady's iPhone. See over here where it's not CPU stuff. That all looks. Look at that. That's all clean and native looking. These caps have never been nudged or moved. Nobody looks completely water damaged. This is factory. And then, you know, like nobody ever worked on this. This was taken off and put aside and, you know, left alone. This whole chunk and piece of the board. Where's the Hydra chip? I want to see. I want to see the.
Where's the old
I want to see.
1612?
I want to see the new.
Is it underfilled?
The new TriStar. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Do you know where it is? Can you look on the schematic? Is it on that piece?
I'm gonna find out.
I'm gonna find out. I guess in theory it could be this guy. I think it's the same footprint, probably.
Have you seen a Tigris yet?
No. Do you have a Tigris on that one?
You're looking under a microscope.
The cool little interconnect antennas. It's pretty cool. I think this is, you know, I have like some kind of either baseband PMIC, most likely baseband PMIC. This entire thing is most likely baseband. This is Wi-Fi, I'm guessing. I see a lot of, you know, buck converter, a little square dude that is almost certainly baseband PMIC, and then this is probably baseband CPU. So my board is probably RF board.
Yeah.
All right, I think all of this is RF. So I think this is baseband PMIC with buck converters. This must be baseband CPU,
Yep.
Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So that would make sense that this whole board is just RF, which means it just never did anything. All right, so then
there it is, right there.
Hey, buddy. Let's clean that up. So this is our main board then. This is the one that we will be working on because...
Oh, excellent. It's right next to CPU.
Yeah, it is. Of course. I remember that. I remember that from the like very first videos. Here we are, our beautiful A11. This is our first look, Mark. This is like a moment in history. This is our first look at the iPhone 10.
This is what we think is an iCloud unlocked iPhone 10 hardware chip transfer.
Yeah.
But baseband CPU is native?
Yeah. Unless they, I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definite. That is true. In my view, you can look at it under the microscope, but to me that looks native. There's no like flux over here. There's no way these guys.
Is it underfilled?
There's no way that these guys would have been able to execute a change of that without disturbing any of these guys. That's completely factory, especially because, you know, look at how around here there's this all sorts of like just nudgy inconsistencies, and you know, like right here, you know, like just you know, not quite straight, nudge, everybody's floated there at one point. And then this is much tinier, easier to move, but they're all super straight. And that thermal paste was probably native, and they just did exactly what we did and then just put this board over on the counter and left it there the whole time. All right, what's that down there? Oh, no stuff. Okay.
All right. Well.
All right. So let's look around here. I mean, like this is just like that stupid SE where just like, you know, coils have been moved around. Let's do a look to see, is there underfill on the baseband PMIC? I think it's, yes, the translucent underfill, and that's intact. All right, so that's good. So you can iCloud unlock your 10, apparently, with...
All you gotta do is move CPU.
All you gotta do is get yourself a nice CPU. God, this is such bullshit. I feel really sorry for this lady.
Yeah, I hope we can get her data back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it worked at all, that we can straighten some of this stuff out and try to get it to work again. All right, so I think for us this has been fun. It's been our first look at the iPhone 10, the inner workings. It's time for me to put my iPhone 10 back together. Hopefully that will still be working. And we can see what happened with this story. This appears to be a iCloud hardware unlocked board done in a, low rent kind of way. And that failed after being in service for a couple of days, and just totally ruined this lady's wedding and honeymoon pictures. That she bought this phone expecting it to be new, and she bought it out of Verizon Store. It has never been opened, according to her, prior to us, and that is clearly not the case. We have damage all over this board, and that is sad. So for us, we are gonna get it cleaned up and reassess it when we can focus on it and see what's going on. And hopefully we can still have a shot at this one, because the hope would be that it was poor soldering all along on the NAND and CPU. Hopefully that neither one of them are dead, that they are just sort of victims of this kind of really poor attachment, and that we might be able to get it to get on there enough to get the data off. We'll see. All right, let me glance over here and see if anybody has anything they want to see real quick or look at or add. Let's see. And then it's time to go to bed. Last day of class is tomorrow. Why did you take your iPhone 10 apart? To have known good parts. Duh. All right. Oh, it looks like they left number 172 as NC. I don't know what that means. Wondering if Verizon Tech's put the waterproof seal back. I don't think Verizon Tech had anything to do with this. Do they have access to OEM parts? No. All right. Look how close those components are. Crazy. How long had the owner been using the phone before failure? She bought it on December 26th, and it failed, never to boot again, on January 3rd. And she took it. She bought it, went on her honeymoon, took pictures that were not backed up to iCloud because she was on her honeymoon at whatever remote destination. And then the phone started to, from the beginning, started to have kind of some front camera problems. Scroll up. I was talking about the interposed connection between the boards. 172 data lines. Okay. The interposers between have at least 172 data lines. Great. Alrighty. Yep, so I do have the stencil for it, so we should be able to put it back together, to reball this and stick it back on just as was. But first, we're going to see what we can do. Not today, though. That is our first look at iPhone 10.
Are we going to actually re-hot CPU?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are going to re-hot this CPU. We're going to re-hot CPU, baby. That is pretty funny. Stay tuned. Ted Rehab is going to re-hot CPU. Wow. Alrighty. Time for bed.